Okay. Lydia Maria Child, born in Medford, Massachusetts, February 11th, 1802. She was an American writer known for her works of women's rights and the rights of Native Americans in a time where she was the most prominent of anti-slavery writers. Child started her literacy career in the year 1824 with the historical novel Hobomic, A Tale of Early Times, just 10 years after her mother died in 1814 of tuberculosis. The goal behind the stories that Child wrote was to make society aware of slavery and abolish it immediately in places such as the South, while also attacking Northern racism. In 1828, she married another abolitionist and lawyer, David Child, and still continued to pursue her writing career even as finances began to be a burden on her husband's shoulders. During most of the 1840s, Child would spend most of her time apart from her husband in New York City editing the National Anti-Slavery Standard. The National Anti-Standard. Um, During this point in her career, she was known for publishing stories in the column Letters from New York, which became the most which became so popular that Child ended up making a second series on it. These series held topics on some of her beliefs such as redemptive power of religion, sympathy, and the values associated with domesticity. In Child's literacy text, The Quadroons, Child uses the protagonist Rosalie to highlight what it's like to not be accepted in the society when she is considered to be a mixed race. The story argues how love, gracefulness, and innocence can all be destroyed in the same acts of a racist society. In the beginning of this story, we find just how quickly Edward and Rosalie fall in love and end up living together in a home. This starts to become problematic early on because of society's refusal to her being a mixed race. In these times, society made it unacceptable and illegal for an actual marriage to take place. Even though both of them proved to have fallen in love with each other, the wall that stops them from proceeding forward in a legal marriage is the racist laws of society. As both Rosalie and Edward proceed in love without the meaning of a legal wedding, the couple births a daughter named Zarifa. Now, the bigger problem becomes the worry of raising a daughter in a society that won't accept them. Also, this was a picture of, oh, sorry about that. I won't accept them. As time moves on, things between Edward and Rosalie take on a new direction to their love life. Edward starts getting more involved in politics and starts seeking the approval of wealthy white people. He starts to get caught up in this new world and marries a white woman named Charlotte, which leads to Rosalie's heart being broken. In spite of this situation, Rosalie stood true to her values and moralities and refused to continue any further in a relationship with Edward. I personally look at this as a symbolic moment as a representation of women empowerment. Although she represents this same moment leads to her death because of how much she suffered emotionally and in grief. And here we are. She died in October 20th, 1880. Zarifa The daughter of Rosalie and Edward gets older, and his guilt begins to grow, which pushes the relationship in a better light. We find out later in Zarifa's life that as she blossoms into a beautiful young lady, she ends up falling in love with her music teacher, George. It seems like she is finally in love and happy for a moment of time, but then things start to take a different twist. Just as Zarifa is experiencing love and happiness with George, she ends up being. Sorry, let me go back here. Um, she ends up being claimed as property at an auction and then sold to the highest bidder. This is very unfortunate for all the wrong reasons. In this same instance, even George tried to buy her, but fell short and lost to a rich man. He didn't let money stop him, though, from attempting to rescue Zarifa. George fought through every obstacle in an attempt to rescue her. Unfortunately, he is shot and killed in the attempt of escape. Just shortly after this, Zarifa follows unfortunate similar footsteps as her mother instead as her mother. Instead of emotions being her cause of death, Zarifa loses her mind completely and dies in despair. In conclusion, the author portrays the disadvantages of being born into a society of racism and the harm that is caused for being a mixed race. Society's acceptance is little to none and falls short to any acts of prosperity. Child demonstrates a clear stance on what she believes in and what the problem actually is. The question is, how can we move forward in a racist society such as this? These stories are the highlights of pain, slavery, and mistreatment of women as a whole. When getting to read, I'm gonna go back here. When getting to read and understand a text like this, I definitely believe it goes very well with the coursework in upcoming semesters. This story highlights similar struggles talked about in this course, but approaches it from a different angle. Child embodies what we learn about her, as well as creates influence amongst many other writers that follow her. Her works highlights problems of the past while also appearing as something relevant in today's time as well. In contrast to someone such as Anne Bradstreet, who is known for her works on religion, on religious devotion, personal reflection, and observations about life, Child creates a world of fictional realism that is relatable to the many people around her. I see her text being a great mix to teachings of upcoming courseworks.